Acquisition Center in Rigachikun. We'll have more details of this development in our subsequent bulletins. Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Idris has assured that the military under the Tinubu administration will continue to enjoy support with equipment and policies that will strengthen intelligence gathering and promote the welfare of personnel. The minister led media chief executives at an expanded media.
A video documentary showcasing the sacrifices of the military and faces of some lucky surviving gallant troops welcomes the media chiefs led by the government's task of reporting security situation as the nation galvanizes its efforts aimed to strengthen national security for peace and prosperity.
Let me also convey the commendation of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to our service chiefs for their unshakable commitment.
Within the Nigerian Armed here agreed will add value to their operational capacity and capability while promoting unity in the fight against all forms of criminality. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
The Nigeria Governors Forum has issued directives for the immediate reversal of high cost of food and livestock transportation across the country, with far-reaching measures to improve supply chain of commodities to avoid price hikes. This was the aftermath of high-powered presentations made by the National Security Advisor, ministers and other key government officials. Political correspondent Abubakar Kwanga reports.
The recent increase in the transportation of food and livestock has put Nigerian governors at a very tight corridor of the nation's economy and placed a huge responsibility of reducing its impact on their shoulders. And as a first-step measure, the forum invited the National Security Advisor, affected ministers, and blamed the situation on illegal checkpoints and taxations, poor infrastructure, and inefficiency in the food supply chain.
Governors thereafter acknowledged the urgency of this matter and expressed commitment to collaborate with the federal authorities to streamline the levies, to dismantle unauthorized checkpoints, and to improve the movement.
Regional integration as well as tackle persistent challenges. Minister of Foreign Affairs Yusuf Tugar, along with other ministers in the region, are expected to push for stronger implementation of the ECOWAS trade liberalization scheme and the removal of non-tariff barriers to boost intra-regional trade, which currently stands at just 13 to 15%. Garba Natala
focuses on memorandums central to welcome Charles Indehai as member, Regional Electricity Regulatory Council under ECOWAS.
The ECOWAS 94th Ordinary Session of the Council of Ministers precedes the upcoming Authority of Heads of State and Governments meeting, which is meant to propose actionable recommendations for ratification by the West African leaders in Abuja. Garba Muhammad Atala, NTA News.
In other news, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu says she will retain her focus on initiatives that promote the health and education of women and girls, describing such moves as pathways to improving the health of all Nigerians. She was speaking during the 13th anniversary and 7th Merck Foundation First Ladies Initiative Summit in Dubai. State House correspondent Adeni Taiwo reports.
With a strong history of partnering to promote women's health and well-being, the 13th anniversary and 7th Merck Foundation and public spheres, despite all the challenges they face culturally and financially. Already, the foundation has provided scholarships for 2,270 medical practitioners from 52 countries in 44 critical areas of healthcare, and the community awareness program which includes breaking the infertility stigma, ending gender-based violence, and hypertension, among others. Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria has reaffirmed commitment to strengthening health systems and boosting domestic capacity as it engaged with global partners at the 15th BRICS Health Ministers meeting held in Brasilia, Brazil. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Dr. Isiaq Salako, stressed the importance of international collaboration in tackling emerging health threats such as pandemics, climate change, antimicrobial resistance, and rising non-communicable diseases. He also conveyed the goodwill of President Bola Tinubu and praised Brazil for hosting the high-level engagement. Dr. Salako underscored the need for stronger South-South cooperation, noting that BRICS offers a critical platform for populous nations to share innovations and address global health inequalities. He outlined Nigeria's health sector renewal investment initiative, a reform blueprint anchored on good governance, sufficient service delivery, and health security. According to him, insurance coverage. The minister announced that Nigeria would host the next high-level ministerial meeting on antimicrobial resistance in June 2026. And the Kogi State's Primary Healthcare Task Force has been inaugurated to make healthcare services accessible and affordable in all the nooks and crannies of the state. The Deputy Governor, Salifu Oyibo, performed the ceremony at the Government House, Lokoja, on behalf of the State Governor.
The committee to handle the task force on PSC
is established to manage diseases at the grassroots. States have also engaged various stakeholders to ensure that the program works. These informed the task force in Kogi State.
By strengthening our primary healthcare system, we can improve health outcomes, reduce mortality rates, and enhance the overall quality of life for our dear people.
This task force will work tirelessly to ensure that we strengthen our primary healthcare system to improve the health outcome in the state.
The task force is to ensure successful public health program in immunization, maternal and child health, disease prevention and control, nutrition, family planning and health promotion in the state.
The administration of Mr. President has placed serious emphasis on PHCs, even internationally, and so Kogi State is not left behind.
The Minister of Education will use every means available to us to support the initiative. We stand by to work effort task force is out to achieve.
With the inauguration of Kogi State Primary Healthcare Task Force, it is expected that similar task force will be stepped down into the 21 local government areas of the state to achieve the desired objectives.
Let's take a short break. More reports in a moment. Stay with us. Here is the morning news. The federal government is strategizing.
Hello and welcome to the news at 10 on NTA News 24.
Welcome to the news update at 11 a.m. Daniel.
The Federal Road Safety Corps has reacted to viral...
Thanks for joining us on the news desk at 3.
Good evening. Welcome to News Desk at 6, NTA News 24.
Standards.
PC Limited begins sale of crude oil in Naira.
Factories producing solar panels in Nigeria.
So if this crisis had anything to do with...
Of course, 3 weeks after launching a manhunt for him, operatives.
The screening panel emphasized the importance of working in partnership with state governments to tap into the region's vast natural resources.
Placement of this commission is in answers to many of our questions of underdevelopment, degradation, particularly the area of employment and unemployment. This commission, I believe, will be able to provide those services.
I would like you to see a way that the commission can work with the various states to further develop their natural resources.
We would do entirety of infrastructure in the 6 states. We would look at militancy control. We would also look at environmental control and community development.
The Senate is expected to confirm the nominees in the coming days, marking a major step in the operationalization of the SSDC. Now, to drive citizen-centered interventions aimed at promoting integrity in Nigeria's electoral and judicial system, the Independent Judicial Accountability Panel, convened under Action Aid Nigeria, is seeking amendment to the Constitution to accommodate legal actions by citizens to challenge electoral breaches. This was while briefing newsmen in Abuja, where the panel also made other recommendations.
It is the second session of the panel, another opportunity for intellectual discourse on perceived structural weaknesses in Nigeria's judicial framework. After robust debates and discussions, the panel is recognizing the need to address limitations on individuals in challenging electoral breaches.
The panel recommends 1. Amendments of the Constitution to accommodate class actions by citizens to challenge breaches of the Electoral Act and lapses in the conduct of elections.
Another issue of concern is recent cases of political defections.
The panel recommends 1. That the court should be courageous in giving proper interpretation in cases arising from breaches of the constitutions of the political party. 2. That members of the political parties, in approaching the courts, should make clear distinction between internal disputes and breaches of their party's constitution.
The Independent Judicial Accountability Panel further commended the National Judicial Council on recent decisions to discipline erring judges, improve welfare package of judicial officers, and make appointments of judges open to public scrutiny. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
And that concludes the news desk at 6 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.